My name is Mark, and people know me on the trail as Two-Pack. Hey, come on a quest with me as I continue to hike along the Appalachian Trail. It should be a real big adventure. Here we are at the Bankies. They're fixing us a wonderful breakfast. Look at this: sausage, strawberries, watermelon, blueberries, bananas, breads. And over here, Mary's cooking pancakes and eggs.
Yep.
And we have some nice coffee. And Mark,
Hey.
supervising.
Doing what I do best.
And we had a delicious dinner last night. Spaghetti and meatballs, garlic bread and salad. They're great hosts. Live up here in Maine, about an hour away from the trail, and they have a wonderful house. Thank you so much for allowing us to come into your home and taking very good care of us. The Ranger and Lightning and I sure do appreciate it. And here is Luna. She took care of everybody here at the house and protected them. What a sweet dog she is.
You good girl.
Yesterday was a big washout in terms of hiking. It rained all day, and thank goodness we were at Mary and Mark's house and got all cleaned up and resupplied and recharged, and we're ready to go this morning. But thunderstorms are expected late this afternoon, so we need to get to our shelter soon enough before the storm comes in. Here we are, registering for the state of Maine, ATC trail. Well, there seems to be a lot of water on the trail today. Luckily we have some rocks to jump over, but all along the trail, runoff and pretty wet. So up in Maine, instead of calling the shelters, they call them lean-tos. And this one is our first lean-to in Maine, called Bald Pate. We're going to pass this one up and go over the mountain to the next one in about 6 miles. Here's part of the trail. All that rain runoff. This is the trail. And all the water coming down the trail.
Intrepid explorer crossing the tundra.
Check out this climb. It's gonna be at least a 60-degree angle coming up these rocks. Moss on it makes it very slippery, and it's spitting out here, spitting rain, so that even makes it more slippery. Pretty spooky here up on top. Alright, the clouds are starting to break up a little bit. Still expected thunderstorms this afternoon, but I thought I'd show you a little bit of the view. Well, we hiked over Bald Plate, and the rainstorm started to come in around 3 o'clock, so we ditched into this shelter. I think it's called Fry Notch Shelter, and waited the rainstorm out. We decided to stay here for the night, keep dry, and made a little fire behind us. Keep warm and comfort, and we're going to start hiking again tomorrow. We didn't get as many miles as we thought we would today, only about 6 miles. We were hoping for at least 10, but we'll make it up. 2 other guys came into the shelter, and it was only room enough for 6 people. We had dinner, And about 6:30, 20 college kids from Harvard University came hiking through and wanted to stay at the shelter. So they ended up tenting all around the shelter. And even some of them cowboy camped, which means they slept in their sleeping bags outside with no cover whatsoever. So that we had about 20 kids surrounding the shelter when we woke up this morning. But we're going to try to get some extra miles in today and hopefully catch up back on our schedule that we've planned out. We have to cross right above it. So this is what Maine is looking like. Got a beautiful moss carpet, some small pine tree or spruce trees, some Fraser fir, got some mushrooms growing on the side, and we've been seeing a lot of moose tracks on the trail here in the mud. So there's one here around here that must have come through last night after the storms because the tracks really look fresh. Lots of waterfalls today. We just went through a thunderstorm this afternoon, and look at what it dropped. You can see the size of the hail compared to my shoe and how much it's on the ground. Pretty good storm, and it wasn't even in the forecast. Just wanted to show you what the trail looks like after the thunderstorm. This is the actual trail. I guess it keeps your sneakers nice and clean. August 28th. I had a good night's sleep last night. We're hiking up Old Blue Mountain, which is quite high, at milepost 1951. The worst part of the hike this morning is getting into wet socks and shoes. You saw how wet we got yesterday, and putting it on this morning, and it was about 50 degrees, and it was kind of cold. So we're warming up going up the mountain, and I just got a message from my wife that one of our friends from Withville, Madeline Showalter's in the area. So let's see if we bump into her. She's going southbound and we're going northbound. So if she's up and about, we should collide. Here's another fresh moose track in the trail. Our Ranger 1 heard something last night around 12:30 go into the stream near our camp and come back out. But didn't peek outside the tent. Could have been a moose, could have been a bear, or deer, or something else. But there's creatures in these woods. The forest is so thick here with trees, I don't know how a moose could ever navigate without using the trail. Look how dense it is, especially with its antlers that it has. I guess that's why we're seeing some tracks on the trail. Well, I'm on top of Old Blue, and Old Blue has no view. It's surrounded by small 8 to 10 to 12 foot evergreens, and even though we're up high on the mountain, I can't see very far. That reminds me, I had a bright blue truck maybe back in the 90s, an F-150 that was I called Old Blue, and that sure was fun to ride around town and in the mountains. I sure do miss the truck. There's a little video of Bemis Mountain. another spruce grouse.
Female spruce grouse. Right there.
Hey y'all, August 29th, and we had a wet night last night. The rain rolled in around 9 o'clock and got everything wet. I've been up since 6:30 and hiking, and of course all the leaves that we brush against is wet, so everything's getting wet. Feet are getting wet again, and that's the way it is on the Appalachian Trail. We are going to try to make it close to Rangeley, Maine today. There's a hostel there that has a full resupply. Getting low on food and also fuel for my canister. So hopefully we can get close, if not into the hostel, and get resupplied there. Check out the lake. Sandy shore. Feels like we're at the beach. So this is a typical trail in Maine. Look at all the roots that we have to step on and in between and over. Not very pleasant on the feet. Here's Ranger 1 navigating a mud puddle.
Hopefully navigating and not becoming one with it. Yeah. Here we go. Whoa. Let go. Okay, here's Tupac. He's going to try to get across this swamp and stay dry.
That's a long stretch.
His disadvantage is his legs aren't as long as mine.
Did you go to that rock?
No. There's I think where those sticks cross, right to the right of the rock.
Oh, okay.
And then there I went to the bank. And there's a set of roots right about there. And another one right there.
Phew, made it.
Made it.
So many of these bog boards are just broken in Maine, and kind of dangerous because nails are sticking out and half of them are rotten, and you could fall off of one very easily. Here's a view of what's gonna be in store for tomorrow. Saddleback Mountain. Looks like a huge climb. We still have to go down a mile to get to Rangeley, and then up that tomorrow morning. Can't wait. Well, we decided to get off trail and stay at the hiker hut. 100% rain is forecasted for tomorrow, so we may take a 0. But look at this beautiful stream right in front of the hiker hut. And this is where I'm going to be taking a shower, right in here. And get cleaned up for the night. All right, Ranger and I just got dropped off at the downtown Rangeley, and we put some dirty clothes in the laundromat, and we're going to go across the street and get us something to drink and to eat. We're going to eat at Sarge's Pub and Grub. Here we are at the hiker hut, and what a cute place. Got several huts, some flower gardens. Got a hummingbird feeder in the middle of a vine of hops growing along the cabin, picnic table, and we have an office with resupply, and the owner cooked us an egg and cheese sandwich this morning and some coffee. It was wonderful. So Ranger and I rented out this little trailer for the 2 nights, and we're going to wait out the rain and continue tomorrow. We're going to go into town and resupply. But isn't this cute? It's right next to the stream. And we are told that moose travel along the stream on the other side. So maybe we have a chance to see a moose getting a drink of water in the morning.